Welcome to the NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Yep, the odds were against it, but here we are. They're calling it the biggest event in the history of Troy, Alabama. Two underdogs in their first Super Regional, the Little Rock Trojans and the Troy Trojans. Both pulled massive upsets in the regionals, and now just two wins from Omaha. 4 of the Super Regionals start today. 4 more will get underway tomorrow. Earlier today, West Virginia taking a 1-game-to-none lead on Cal Poly. The College World Series starts a week from today. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Troy alongside former Alabama star, former Major League pitcher Lance Cormier. It's great to have you with us. I'm Clay Matvick. This is the Trojan War. Historic for Troy, great for mid-major college baseball. And for the first time, somebody's going to Omaha. We know that.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about this. This is what college baseball is all about. All this stuff behind us. I got here at 12:40. Nothing but energy the whole time. I mean, you can just see the scene set right here. I think they said they sold 4,000 tickets out there. This is going to be electric.
Well, Troy won 4 straight in Gainesville, including beating the Gators, the number 8 national seed, in 2 straight games. And a guy came out of nowhere. Jay Boroff hit 4 home runs in that regional.
Yeah, this is a team that I feel like they're much better when they play with their backs against the wall. I mean, you're talking about the chip on the shoulder. Don't worry about it. They got a bag full of chips. And this guy, Jay Boroff, yes, came into regional play hitting about 167, left regional play hitting about 260. You're talking the regional outstanding player, 10 for 20 on the weekend. He had 4 homers. He only had 5 coming in. He had 15 RBIs coming in. Like, he almost had his season in this one weekend. Look at that, a.k.a. Jabe Ruth now, right?
Yeah, and he's eating it up with a spoon, too. Well, Troy can thank Little Rock for hosting this weekend. They won the Hattiesburg Regional as the 4 seed, led by this guy, Blake Simpson.
Yeah, Blake Simpson's been Little Rock's their number 1 hitter all year long. 354 average on the season, and all he did was prove that, yes, he is their best hitter in this Hattiesburg Regional. He was the most outstanding player. Look at these numbers. Over 560 at the plate. My man was on base all the time. They drove him in 5 times. He is their spark plug.
This is going to be fun, folks. A 3 seed hasn't hosted a Super in 8 years. Troy, Alabama has turned out. A record crowd is here. We hope you stick around. Little Rock and Troy, first pitch coming up. Here's a look at Chris Curry, a Little Rock native. And as he likes to say, our program is a 12-year overnight success. He has piggybacked the 2 greatest seasons in Little Rock history. 48 years old, over 300 wins now, the program's all-time winningest coach. Here's his lineup, and it has looked the same the last several games. Jordy Lopez ready to lead it off. Angel Cano batting in the 6th spot tonight. 12 homers this season, which is a team best. You'll remember last year in the Baton Rouge Regional, he was the most outstanding player in that regional.
Yeah, he became a sensation just in that Baton Rouge Regional and became a fan favorite. I mean, he looks to continue. I mean, 12 home runs this year. Obviously, we saw Blake Simpson, as the leading hitter, but Jordy Lopez gets him going, though. This is a pretty deep lineup.
Benjamin Stubbs is the starting pitcher for Troy. He is on the mound, ready to go. These teams have a lot in common beyond just the nickname. And we're going to be sharing those with you throughout this broadcast. 84 degrees, a lot of sunshine, light winds out of the southeast in a ballpark that plays small. And here's our first pitch in this Super Regional. Home plate umpire is A.J. Wendell. 1 ball and no strikes. As you look at Benjamin Stubbs, the senior from Macon, the left-hander making his 17th start of the year. Now it's fouled back to the screen. Stubbs 5-3. An ERA a tick over 5. He has been Troy's Game 1 starter since Week 2 of the Sun Belt schedule.
Yeah, I mean, fastball is going to be 91 to 96. We've already seen some 4s. Biggest thing is going to be like, hey, how do you not come out here just too overhyped and amped up, but really high chase percentage, and he has an absolute wipeout slider.
Ball and a strike to Jordy Lopez. And the junior shortstop takes outside 2-1 to Lopez. He is one of Little Rock's most exciting players. From the DR, went 7 for 15, 3 doubles, a triple, and a couple of runs batted in Hattiesburg. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, 2-2. Third NCAA tournament for Little Rock, 2nd straight. As we said, last year took LSU to a 7th game in Baton Rouge. They have plans on something even more special this year. 2-2, whack foul. And this is the thing about Little Rock. They're an aggressive team at the plate.
Very aggressive. One of the most aggressive teams, not only in college baseball, but definitely left in this field. Talked to Coach Curry today. He goes, we don't walk. He goes, yeah, we do not walk. And so look for these guys to be swinging early and often.
And another cut, foul back. This is what we're talking about. They have swung at 54% of pitches so far in the national tournament, most in the tournament. With that said, Lopez is seeing a lot of pitches in this first at bat. Here's pitch number 7 from Benjamin Stubbs. Popped up, foul ground. First baseman Blake Cavill giving it a look in front of the dugout. Little Rock makes the catch for the first down.
Hey, one of the coolest things, Clay, is that these Troy fans do is they do the roll call just like the Yankees do, where they're going on right now. They'll say everybody's name all the way around the field until they give them a little wave. For Blake Cavill, they did the Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. He just threw the glove up. It was pretty cool.
This 95-year-old ballpark, Riddle Pace Field, it has never seen a bigger game than the one we're watching today. As Cade Smith stands in now, and that nearly hit him. Redshirt sophomore center fielder. 2nd team all OVC. Went 5 for 11 in Hattiesburg. 329, 5 homers, 45 runs batted in. 1 out here, top of the first. The 1-0 pitch. And that one's out of play.
Yeah, I'd look for a lot of foul balls, just the way Benjamin Stubbs, he attacks the strike zones. A lot of strikes, especially you mentioned a lot of swings from Little Rock. If you're a defense, boy, this is the game you want to play. Knowing that they don't walk, ball's going to be put in play, be ready.
1-1 from Stubbs, sits away. Benjamin Stubbs took a no decision in the regional opener against Miami, gave up 3 runs on 6 hits, walked a couple, struck out 6 in 5 1/3. Also pitched a perfect inning of relief in the title game against Florida last week for the win. That's down and in. So now a rare 3-ball count for Little Rock, 3-1.
Benjamin Stubbs establishing the fastball, hasn't gone to the breaking ball as much as I thought he would, especially once he got 2 strikes, just continue to pound the fastball.
Outfield straight away. Hit hard down the line, and that's fair. Past the diving Josh Pine, it's going to get into the corner. Cade Smith will lope into second base with a 1-out stand-up double.
Well, 3-1, boy, this is what you do. You get the head out. That's exactly what he does. Cade Smith gets the fastball inside of that third base line. Josh Pine does a great job of really playing that third base bag, but how about double number 18 on the year for Cade Smith? Tie for the team lead now with Ty Rhodes, but he's getting their party going, getting scoring position with only 1 out.
13th double for Little Rock in the national tournament. And now Nolan Friend has a runner in scoring position. Big junior third baseman swings at the first pitch over the top of the mound. Darnell from second charging to get the out. Nice play by Sean Darnell, but it's a productive out for Friend as Cade Smith goes over to third base, now 2 away.
Yeah, you can see right there, that's the aggressiveness that Little Rock plays with. So Benjamin Stubbs goes with the slider, gets that first pitch out. Heck of a play right there. One thing talking to Skylar Meade, he said this turf will play fast. So look for some ground balls that you might not think get to the outfield. This will, and so you see right there that ball bounces over the pitcher right in front of the plate.
Now the Canadian outfielder Blake Simpson. Redshirt junior from Toronto, redshirted at Missouri last year. Team best 354 average, riding a 10-game hitting streak. 2 out, Cade Smith at third. Stubbs pitch. It's upstairs. 2-0.
And this is a spot where you're going to be very cautious, right? You obviously have their hottest hitter. You don't want to give him anything in the first inning, even though it's a left-on-left matchup. You do have first base open.
So Little Rock upset the number 9 national seed Southern Miss and Jack State twice last week. After that 4-run 9th inning comeback against Southern Miss, Chris Curry told the media afterwards, he said, our lineup isn't just dangerous, it's lethal. And sometimes that can come back to bite you, but it didn't in the regional, and so far putting pressure on Troy here early. 2-1. That's away, 3-1 to Blake Simpson.
Yeah, well, obviously they beat a really good Southern Miss team who obviously earned the number 9 host spot, but I thought Jacksonville State was a super good 3 seed and thought they could really win that regional. So to take both of them out shows you how good this team really is.
Chop, this could be a tough play, deep short. Aaron Pisecki, his throw is way offline and a run scores. Cade Smith comes in, it's 1-0. As Blake Simpson put it right in the right spot.
Well, he has just continued to do what he left off in that Hattiesburg Regional. Again, I told you how hard that turf is. Aaron Pisecki had no shot. Simpson just slaps that ball in front of the plate, uses the speed, gets down the line, gets you that RBI. Little Rock up 1-0 here.
And Little Rock has taken a lead in all 4 NCAA tournament games so far this year, as Nico Bamba comes up for the first time. Bamba, the 24-year-old designated hitter in his 7th year of college baseball. Coming off a 5-for-13 regional, had 4 runs batted in. Bamba thought he was going to be a grad assistant coach for Chris Curry this year, but thanks to bunch of waivers over the course of his career, has extended his career by one season. Big part of this run. Runners off from first. Here's the throw. Jimmy Janicki's ball goes into center field as Simpson is safe at second. That was a good jump by Simpson. And now he's at second with 2 outs.
Yeah, Stubbs, no paying attention at all to Simpson. He's got that bag no matter where that ball's thrown. A little to the shortstop side of the base, but how about the Little Rock Trojans putting some pressure on the home team early.
Bamba looks at that one away.
I think he's okay with not being a grad assistant. I'll take that 337, average 13 doubles.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Nico Bamba. 1-0 Little Rock. Another ball to shortstop Aaron Paisecki. No mistake this time. Good start for Little Rock. They break out in front here in the Super Regional Game 1. Yeah, now Troy coming up for the first time.
Yeah, how about that? A Kane Smith double, and then Simpson picks up where he left off, a little slapper for an RBI.
We'll see how Troy responds down 1-0 to Little Rock here in Game 1 of their Super Regional. And Skylar Meade's lineup will look very familiar to Trojans fans. Aaron Paisecki again leading it off. It's been the same starting 9 for 13 straight games now. 7 of these guys hit over 300 in Gainesville last week. Blake Cavell, Gainesville Regional, 6 for 17 with a homer and 4 runs batted in.
Yeah, he's a guy who's really picked it up in May. He was the Sun Belt Conference preseason player of the year. Started off a little sluggish, but boy, how about in May? 20 games, he's hitting 373. He's got 7 bombs, and so you look at his numbers at 283. Don't sleep on that because he's a mid-300 hitter.
Starting pitcher is Brandon Westmoreland for Little Rock, the junior from Haskell, Oklahoma. 6-2 on the season with a 3.12 ERA. He's kind of been their ace this year and really proud of his turbo sinker.
Yeah, 16th start this year, like you mentioned. I mean, the numbers are really good. Love the strikeout to walk ratio, and that's when you see a ton of strikes. Stuff is great. Fastball is going to be up to 96. Pitching coach Evan Lee talked about they tried to use that 4-seam at the top of the zone, and he was just getting hit. And they're like, man, why is this guy getting hit? The stuff is too good. So they moved him to a 1-seamer, and it has become a turbo sinker. Basically, it's hard to explain, but basically his finger, the way he pronates now, but they moved his grip, and now that sinker has become devastating. So if it's on, you're going to see a lot of balls just beat it right into the front of the plate.
So here's Aaron Paisecki, the shortstop. Paisecki led Troy with 11 hits in Gainesville. Most of any player in the country regional weekend. Also had 11 hits in 5 games at the Sun Belt Tournament the week before. 0-1 pitch, and there's the first strike from Brandon Westmoreland. There you see the numbers for Paisecki. That was up and in. Strikeout. Brandon Westmoreland out to a great start.
Well, how about a little good morning, good afternoon, good night right here. Thank you very much. He goes with the sinker, and says, I still got the four-seamer with some good ride up there. 3-pitch punch out. Good start to the game for Westmoreland.
Here's third baseman Josh Pine. He gets a strike at the knees. The transfer from Indiana was a 3-year starter with the Hoosiers. And an injury-plagued year last year with Indiana. Came to Troy for a 5th season, and he has been outstanding. 299 homers, 35 runs batted in. In fact, he has more hits in his college career than any active player in the country.
And that's how you're seeing a lot of these mid-major teams and just all of college baseball being built, right? Guys with just so much experience. I mean, you're talking 1,000+ plate appearances. Like, there's nothing you're going to see. There's not a new pitcher you haven't seen before. So you got to put a lot of stock in these guys, and that's why you see them have a lot of success late in their career.
Count now 3-1 to Josh Pine. And the approach for Troy, Lance, is different than Little Rock. They will take a lot of pitches.
Yeah, we have direct opposite when it comes to both of these clubs. You got Little Rock, who has seen the least amount of pitches. It's like just a little over 9,000 in the year. And how about Troy? They will go up there. It's basically almost one more pitch per plate appearance on average. But Troy's not afraid to make your pitcher work.
Pine works a 3-2 count, and he looks at strike 3. Pine threw his bat away, was ready to take first base, but he goes down looking. Back-to-back Ks for Westmoreland here in the first.
Wow, love this. 3-2 fastball dotted on the inside part of the plate. That is a beautiful pitch. Man, it just comes in right above the knee. Pine thinks it's in, but it's not in.
Brainerd Westmoreland, 81 strikeouts in 98 innings coming into the game today. Always around the plate as he starts. Blake Cavill with a strike. You mentioned just the 22 walks on the year. This guy works efficiently, works quickly.
Yeah, I was about to say quickly for sure. Give me the ball, let's go. I mean, he throws a ton of fastballs, so it's not, there's really not trying to fool anybody. He knows he's going to get the ball. He's got either the four-seam fastball grip or that cross one-seam, what they call it, grip, and it's either going to be a fastball at the top of the zone or a fastball with some sink.
1-1 to Blake Cavill. Off-speed pitch comes inside. Power-hitting first baseman from Australia. Heartbeat of the team. Nobody has more fun on the field than this guy. Might be the most animated player in the entire tournament. From Sydney, Australia. Fouls it straight back. He got the extra year from the Diego Pavia JUCO rule, so another older player on this Troy roster. Base is empty, 2 outs, 2-2 count here on Blake Cavill. Westmoreland's pitch, base went up and in. And now full count. Troy only the 8th 3 seed to host a Super Regional. First since Washington in 2018. This crowd has been electric for the last several hours leading up to first pitch. They got here early.
You said several. I thought you meant 7, and it's probably about the same because they were here. Definitely, I think they said that outfield opened around 8 or 9 this morning, and people started filing in like ridiculous. You're talking about the stadium holds like 25 to 28. I think they said their largest crowds around the 3,700. They expect maybe 8,000 just around the stadium today. I mean, they're in the football stadium. They're behind left field. There are people everywhere.
They had to truck in some bleachers from Gulf Shores. The city brought them in last night. Those 2 sets of bleachers out there, they didn't have those. They had to bring them in to accommodate. That's a walk. Upstairs to Cavill. Westmoreland, after back-to-back strikeouts, gives up his first free pass, and that'll bring up Jimmy Janicki, who's been on fire. There you see Skylar Meade, not only the head coach, he's the third base coach, also the pitching coach.
Yeah, calls pitches. does the size, everything. This is a guy that's in control of his program, but how about where he's brought this Troy program in his 5th season, bringing this here. I said, you were able to soak all this in. He said, man, I'm trying. You know, there's so much going on, but I'm trying to soak this all up.
In 5 years here at Troy, he's won over 60% of his games, and now has guided his 2nd NCAA tournament run in 4 years. Big reason for this tournament run is this guy, Jimmy Janicki. Huge catcher from outside of Chicago, Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year. Leads the Sun Belt in hits, homers, runs batted in.
And that 2-out walk is huge because, I mean, you talk about a guy that could change the game. You got to get on base in front of him. I mean, it's 43 extra base hits, 23 doubles, a triple, 19 jacks, 85 stakes. I mean, those numbers are just phenomenal. So just getting on base for Calvin, that 2-out walk, extend that inning.
Chopper over the mound. This is going to be a tough play. Lopez gets there, cuts it off, and steps on the bag for the force. So Troy strands one in the first. Little Rock wins inning number 1 of their Supers. That's right, Chris. We're not going to have 3 Trojans in Omaha, but we could have 2.
Could have 2.
And right now,
definitely
Troy leading.
one.
Troy trailing Little Rock 1-0 as we move to the 2nd inning. How about North Carolina? 2nd year hosting a Super, the only ACC team left, but that's a tough matchup with USC.
Yeah, really good pitching program, but obviously they brought the sticks, putting up 6 runs on that very good Tar Heel pitching staff as well.
Here's Angel Cano, the senior from Cartagena, Colombia. One of the top power hitters out of the Ohio Valley Conference. 12 homers this year. Had an RBI double in the regional final against Jack State on Sunday. Otherwise was kind of quiet in the regional, 2 for 11. Benjamin Stubbs gave up a couple of hits in the first. So it'll be interesting to see how the lefty responds here in the 2nd.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming out 2 for 6 on first pitch strike. So it's basically playing on the opposite side of what Little Rock wants to do, but it's also his pitch count's getting elevated. Little Rock seeing more pitches. They're feeling more comfortable at the plate. I mean, 4 of their first 5 hitters saw 5+ pitches. It's not a good sign for the starter. He's trying to settle in the ball game, keep that pitch count low.
Benjamin Stubbs, he was an all-conference performer at Division II Flagler College in St. Augustine, Florida, the last 3 years. battling Angel Cano. Here's the 2-2. Another comebacker. He tried to kick it. And safe at first. Sean Darnell dug it out of the turf. It was a bang-bang play. You can see the pitcher, Stubbs, tried to make a kick save.
Yeah, it was a heck of a play, though, by Darnell. Coming in, closing in that backhand, off-balance throw, big pickup. Love the hustle from Cano out of the box. Looks like they're going to review it, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get our first challenge.
I saw Blake Cabell. He was looking at first base umpire Kellen Levy and asked him, like, was I off the bag? And then once he said he was on the bag, that's when Cabell looked at Skylar Mead and was like, no, we got to review this, because he felt like he got the ball in time.
Darren Hyman is our crew chief. Kellen Levy made the call at first base. Man, bang, bang. And
yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know, man, but you can see where you're taught as a runner. Cano hits the front part of the bags perfectly. Oh, man. This might be the closest play I think I've seen when it comes to first base.
Well, it was called safe on the field, and because it is so close, it's likely to stand.
Good pickup, nice hustling out of the box, just all around good play. What I'm noticing right now is Stubbs is out there throwing a lot. It's one of those things where he's trying to probably find something, been a little bit off, so he's using this time to try to lock in on the mound.
It's under review in Pittsburgh, and they're going to have their findings and relay that back to the umpiring crew. There's another look. There was an infield hit in the first inning from Blake Simpson that led to a run, and we haven't really seen Little Rock square anything up, maybe with the exception of the Cade Smith double. A couple of infield hits so far. Looks like they have the decision.
After review, the call on the field stands. Runner is safe. Troy loses one challenge. They have one remaining.
So Angel Cano is aboard to lead off the second inning for Ty Rhodes. None of these teams run a lot.
No, Troy definitely doesn't. Little Rock doesn't. Just going to go station to station. Now, they will obviously be aggressive on their taking that extra base. But when it comes to straight stealing, but we did see already, Simpson took off in the first. So, I mean, sometimes it's, hey, do you adjust a little bit and you maybe play a little different ball game? And right now it seems like Little Rock semi has started to do that. Not as aggressive at the plate as we thought they would be.
Ty Rhodes, a fourth-year senior coming off a 1-for-11 regional. He's been at Little Rock his entire career. So he's among the leaders in several program categories. Senior from Jonesboro. Swung on and missed. And that's how Benjamin Stubbs responds after that leadoff infield single by Cano. That's his first strikeout today.
And like I said, Clay, during that replay, he was throwing a bunch on the mound, and it seemed like he was just trying to figure something out. Well, guess what? Next batter, 3 straight strikes for a punch out. Maybe Stubbs figured out what he needed to. But just think, we mentioned what, Cano 2 hits and Ty Rhodes 1 hit, and they won that regional. So I mean, God, like, that's how good they were at the top of that lineup. These two guys get going, man. Watch out.
This is Trey Hill. He's their unofficial captain, the catcher from Fayetteville, Arkansas. It's been good to see him healthy this year and back behind the plate in 2026. Missed last year's run to the regional. Played just 7 games last season, then had knee surgery. Ended up being a glorified bullpen catcher. And you can tell the team just has a different swagger about them when Trey Hill is on the field.
And that's the true mark of a leader, right? He's affecting guys in a positive way, and they knew when he wasn't there last year on the field, it was a different. And so him being back on the field now is definitely that difference maker they needed.
Stubbs pitch. That's upstairs. Now 2-2. Trey Hill never hung his head after that injury. Was like a coach in the dugout during those games last year. Now so happy to be a part of this postseason excitement. 2-2, swung on and missed. Back-to-back Ks by Stubbs. 2 down now here in the second.
Boy, Clay, there's something about Stubbs' fastball. I mean, he's about 5'10", 5'11", but right now it's got some juice, it's got some jump, and it is getting right by these Little Rock hitters. And there's no secret, he really hadn't gone to the breaking ball like I thought he would, because the slider is a true out pitch. He's just trusting the old number 1, rare back, let it eat.
I think you mentioned this. He's hit 98 on the gun at times this year.
And think about it. You said 3-time all-conference player at Division II. So kids at home thinking like, hey, I have to be, you know, high-level D1 or bust. Like, just shows you like D1. My man Stubbs is touching 96, 98, pitching at D2. So like, you can play ball, and every level has superstars.
You're good. They'll find you.
That's right.
This is Cooper Chaplin, 5th-year senior in the starting lineup. Talked about Little Rock with an old roster, too. They only have 2 freshmen on the team. Second baseman puts it in play. Barehanded by Stubbs. And he'll get Troy off the field. Leadoff infield hit by Cano. Little Rock can't move him around.
How about a little punch out, and had a little pitcher fielding practice, barehanded. Stubbs, good second inning.
Three of the 8 Super Regionals this weekend are within about 150 miles of each other here in the state of Alabama. This is a great time for college baseball in this part of the country.
Yeah, you're talking 3 of the 8 Super Regionals in the state. They've never hosted more than one. Alabama and Auburn haven't hosted in the same year. So how cool is that? 3 teams, and all 3, man, could make it to Omaha. Would be crazy.
Stephen Meyer leading it off for Troy as Little Rock leads it 1-0 here in game 1. Of course, you have interest in all 3 of those supers. You played at Alabama. Your son LJ is a reliever for the Auburn Tigers. You're calling this one, so it's a big weekend for you, buddy.
It's exciting here. I mean, there was energy. I left Tuscaloosa this morning. There was energy there. I know there's energy in Auburn, and there is no doubt this place is electric. Even at the gas station, you could just tell something different about this city when I stopped.
Well, the mayor, Jason Reeves, was quoted here in the days leading up to this, the biggest event in the history of the city. Population of this city about 18,000, and there could be 8,000 here at this ballgame. Stephen Meyer, sinking liner, gets down in front of Blake Simpson in left center. There is the first base hit for Troy.
Well, he got the fastball up in his zone. That's the sinker. It's trying to stay down, but he gets it up. Meyer just does a nice job of inside out in this ball and just shooting it into the left field. But Clay, like you were saying, 18,000 people in the city, and they're going to get 6 to 8 here. So, like, there's no excuse of any other program, right? You have these bigger cities that have things like you making an event like this city has made this an event. People are going to show up and going to have some fun. So you got to give a lot of credit to not only the city of Troy, the university, everything, everybody involved in making this what it is today.
So the senior center fielder, Stephen Meyer, is aboard as Westmoreland gives up his first base hit. Meyer does lead Troy with 10 stolen bases on the year, so Westmoreland will keep tabs on him. This one is swung on and belted, and it's going to be off the right field wall for Drew Nelson. Meyer is going to be waved around third. He's going to try to score and will. Throw into third, not in time. RBI triple for Drew Nelson. And we're tied at 1.
Boy, Clay, another fastball from Westmoreland. Came in at 92. Guess what? Left the bat 108. This is a BB off the wall, and it doesn't take a friendly bounce for Little Rock. That ball goes all the way over there. No doubt Meyer scoring all the way from first, but how about the most exciting play in baseball? A triple for Drew Nelson. Gets this Troy crowd going.
Drew Nelson, a native son, grew up here in town. Product of Pike Liberal Arts School on the edge of Troy. He's definitely a fan favorite, and he just delivered big. Tying run here in the second inning.
And that's what you're going to see, right? I mean, it's a big monster, big wall out in right field, so it's a little different. Obviously, Little Rock got a chance to come and practice against the wall and see the bounces, but man, you can't simulate every single angle of a ball being hit, and that ball hit the wall and shot all the way to center field.
Ball and a strike to Sean Darnell, the junior second baseman. Yeah, that wall out there, 32.5 feet high. And it is a challenge to play it if you're a visiting opponent. The Giants scoreboard is in play. Got to clear that scoreboard for a home run. Inside out swing to left. Simpson will make the catch, tagging Nelson, trying to score the throw, not in time. Darnell, his 45th run batted in. And Troy takes its first lead of the Super Regional. Now this place is buzzing. And here comes the hottest bat in this lineup. Jade Boroff swings at the first pitch. It's going to stay in the ballpark. Simpson coming over toward the line, and nice sliding catch for the out.
My heart kind of jumped a little bit on the swing, the way I've seen him go, but heck of a play right here by Simpson, right up against this bullpen. Nice job by sliding. That's the way to play that. You go feet first, protect yourself. That's a big out, man, especially the way Boroff had been swinging the bat.
I didn't get cheated on the swing.
No, oh, trust me, he won't. That's what I'm saying. With the big swing like that,
And now Houston Markham, the 9-hole hitter, with a ringing single to right field. Third hit of the inning for the Troy Trojans.
Well, he also is not your average 9-hole hitter, especially being Boroff and Markham in the Gainesville Regional were on fire. I mean, you're talking about production from the bottom of the lineup, providing that depth, but also flipping the lineup to the top part of it. Man, this is exactly what they wanted to do.
Notice this approach, though, this inning. They're swinging at pitches early in the count. That goes a little bit against the trend.
Correct.
For Troy. And now back to the top of the order, and Aaron Piasecki. Swung on and hit deep. Goodbye home run. Aaron Piasecki. Two-run shot over the big wall and right. 10th of the year, and now it's 4-1 Troy.
Well, Clay, you just mentioned it. They are swinging early often. This is 3 straight hitters, 3 straight pitches, not letting the pitcher settle in. Boroff takes a good cut. Markham gets on base. But boy, Aaron Piasecki from the leadoff spot gets the ball up, and that's where Westmoreland's been in this zone. It's been up, belt high. That's what you do with a belt high fastball over the right field monster.
So obviously the approach has made an adjustment between innings. 4 straight first pitch swings. We have seen 4 runs score here for Troy in the second inning. And now this is Josh Pine, who was a strikeout victim his first time up, went down looking and didn't like it.
Yeah, well, right there, a nice job by Westmoreland switching it up, going to the breaking ball, because, I mean, after that 4 straight swinging, boy, you got to figure something out.
This one is hammered to left center. Goodbye, home run. Back-to-back jacks, Piasecki and Pine, and Troy leads it 5-1.
Well, this Troy team loves to put up some crooked numbers. They had 2 9 spots in the Gainesville Regional. How about a hanging slider right here? Josh Pine takes this all the way out to left field, gives the fans out there, hey, there's a bunch of them, but he gave a souvenir out there, and this Troy crowd is on fire, loving every minute of it.
Also the 10th of the year for Pine. He had a home run in Gainesville last week, named to the all-regional team. He was at Indiana last year, and Skylar Meade said, we went after him and we said, hey, we understand you like to hunt, you like to fish. We think you're going to be a good fit in the culture down here in Troy, Alabama. Come check us out. He fell in love with the place, and this town has fallen in love with Josh Pine.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's just what it is. It's all about, man. You got the college town. The fans are going to get into the personal lives because that's how the close-knit of it is. And, boy, he has settled in nicely, and it's a great fit right there in the third base box for him.
Here's Cavill, who walked his first time to the plate. Second year at Troy for the big Australian after playing 1 year at Western Kentucky. He hit his 13th homer of the year in the regionals last week. Lifts this one into short left field. This is a long run for Simpson. It's going to be a tough play. The outfielder gets there, and another catch on his knees. But a big inning for Troy. They score 5 times, a couple of home runs.
Yeah, the bats came to play. We had some exciting. We had a triple, 2 jacks. Josh Pine finishes it off. We got a 5-1 ball game here in Troy.
Welcome back to the NCAA Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Alongside Lance Cormier, I'm Clay Matvick back here in Troy, Alabama, where Troy is playing from in front for the first time after a 5-run second inning. They scored 55 runs in the regional in Gainesville last week. They get a 5 spot here in the second, and that's what they do. They hang crooked numbers on you quickly.
Yeah, they had, I think this year, 9 runs in an inning 4 times, and 2 of those came in the Gainesville regional. And it both happened in the 6th inning. So for them putting that crooked number up early, watch out later on, because they're not afraid to score late.
We'll see what Little Rock can do now. Second time around against Benjamin Stubbs. Jordy Lopez, the leadoff man, 0 for 1, popped out into foul ground. His first time to the plate. Little Rock got that early lead in the first. A double by Cade Smith, who's in the on-deck circle, and then an infield RBI single. Blake Simpson. But now trailing for the first time. This is going to be a tough play. Down the line, and it is fair. Off the wall, in the corner, takes a wicked carom. Houston Markham tracks it down, and holding it second is Lopez. Probably could have made an attempt for third as Markham struggled to track that ball down, but he's there with a leadoff double.
Yeah, nice job right here. The ball's up, out over the plate, showing you kind of pop he's got. Just drives that ball out. And again, another ball. This is a hometown team member right here. Markham not playing it off the wall very well. And you're right, Clay. He could have made it because Markham bobbles it, but never want to make that first or third out at third base. So nice job right there by Lopez pulling up. Double number 10 on the year.
And the second double for Little Rock. And here comes Cade Smith, who doubled his first time to the plate. Pulled it right down the line past Josh Pine at third base, and he smoked it. His 6th hit of the national tournament. Guy who started his career at Arkansas, dealt with a labrum issue there in 2024. Spent last year at Division II Harding University, and now doing wonderful things with this Little Rock program as a redshirt sophomore.
Clay, this is something you'll see a lot. Janicki, Pine, Calvel, the 3 leaders on the team, go out there and they talk to the pitcher a lot of times without Coach Skylar Meade going out there. Now, there is the PitchCon thing. Sometimes they can tell them to go out and do that, but you will see the 3 leadership guys go out there and try to settle their pitcher down, and so I like that. I mean, when players take it into their own hands.
Skylar Meade, 41 years old, pitched at Louisville. Had 9 wins for their 2007 College World Series team. Dan McDonnell's first year as head coach of Louisville. Skylar Meade, he's like a powder keg. So much energy. You feel like he's going to explode at any time. 3 balls and no strikes here to Cade Smith. And finally, Benjamin Stubbs lands one. 3-1.
It looked like in the first inning, Stubbs came out a little amped, maybe overthrown a little bit, and then settled down super nicely in that second inning. But after a 5 spot, you can see a pitcher come out and do the same thing, and I feel like that's what has happened.
Through the hole on the left side. Lopez is going to stop at third. Back-to-back hits for Lopez and Smith, and Little Rock is in business here in the 3rd inning. Now the NCAA Super Regional coverage continues this weekend across the ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, and ESPN Plus spectrum. For more information, visit NCAA.com, the home for all NCAA championships. He's Lance Cormier. I'm Clay Matvick here at Riddle Pace Field. Standing room only. As Nolan Friend comes up for their second time. Grounded out to second his first time around.
Friend's a guy at 328, but he crushes lefties to a tune of 429 on the year.
He's been their 3-hole hitter most of the second half of the season. Junior from Kingman, Kansas. 8 for 15, team best 6 runs batted in the regional, including the game-winning RBI in that 4-run ninth to beat Southern Miss. Also had some phenomenal defensive plays, and now time is called as Coach Meade is going to come out for a chat with Stubbs. How do you like where this pitch count is at? It's at 50 here with nobody out in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not good, but I mean, the biggest thing is you got the 5-1 lead, and right now you don't want to allow the team to just start to gain some momentum, right? You took all the momentum from one side, you put it into your dugout, and now you've come back out, and with the 2 straight hits and now falling behind 2-0, look like you're going to be putting it back out there. But no, 50 pitches in basically 2 innings, 2+ innings, not where you want to be. I just think he's a little amped, which is obviously understandable. First ever super regional start, and just the atmosphere, everything about it, the buildup of it.
Just caught a glimpse of number 17, Zach Crotchfeld. He's one of their high leverage relievers. I mean, both of these teams' bullpens certainly have some talent, but the longer they can put off making a call to the bullpen in game 1 of the Supers, the better for both teams. So Nolan Friend at the plate. Second team All OVC, has started every game this year for the Little Rock Trojans. Runners at the corners, nobody out. There's a strike in the outside corner, 2-2. Swung on and missed. Big strikeout for Benjamin Stubbs after giving up those base hits. So a productive mound visit for Skylar Meade.
Yeah, I thought it was just a lot about selling him down right there, but this is where you see a little bit of the cutter, 87, something just off speed, something with a little bit of break away from that fastball that he's been pumping in there. That's a nice job right there by Stubbs, getting a big out. Now, when you look at it as a pitcher, right, Coach talks about, hey, get this guy out, and then we're 1 pitch away.
Here's Blake Simpson, who had the RBI in the 1st inning. Another chopper from him. Could be 2. Throw gets away. Lopez scores. Simpson's going to take second base. They get the force of Cade Smith for their second out, but they can't turn the double play. And another run scores for Little Rock.
Yeah, how about that? Makes the pitch. Paiseki just looks like he takes it a little bit nonchalant, and then he gets his feet taken out, spikes to throw. Calvin not able to pick it up. Simpson moves on to second base. Little Rock picks up a run. But boy, that would have been a big out for Stubbs. Made the pitch he needed to make, got the ground ball.
That is the 8th error in the national tournament for the Troy defense. And so it's now 5-2 as Nico Bamba comes up. Bamba grounded out to Paiseki at short. He's 0 for 1. Nico Bamba coming into this super regional, hitting .462, 18 for 39 over the last 10 games. So another guy who has caught fire at the right time. Trying to get Simpson home. Now it's 3-0. And on deck is Angel Cano.
Well, you were talking about the pitch count. Just think about what that double play would have done. Obviously, out of this inning, would have been sitting at 55. Not a bad spot to be in.
Stubbs long look and now almost throws it into center field. Nice play by Sean Darnell to keep that from skipping away. You know, that's one thing about Troy. It gives you some insight into just how good their offense was last weekend. They've had a lot of errors. The pitching, at times a little shaky.
Yep.
But boy, the offense carried them.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Like, the pitching was good enough. Like, they stepped up when they needed to. Like, Ellingsworth through 6 innings and 5 runs against Florida. We're like, yeah, that's not a great ERA, but like when the offense explodes, that's good enough.
To second base, should end the inning. Darnell to first. Bamba is out. Little Rock is done in the third, but they get another one, and it's now 5-2 Troy. The NCAA Baseball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Tons of excitement in Gainesville and Hattiesburg last week. I mean, the odds against this meeting and in this place were astronomical, really. Yet here we are. Game 1 of the Super Regionals in Troy. A couple of party crashers. We know this, the winner of this Super Regional will be going to Omaha for the first time, either Little Rock or Troy.
Yeah, you're talking about a Little Rock team that had to beat Eastern Illinois twice to win their conference tournament to get in, right? Then you also had Troy, who had to have, they answered the call. Skylar Meade had them as the number 1, number 2 non-conference strength of schedule, which, by the way, good effort by there, Skylar Meade trying to field that ball. But overall strength of schedule, number 6, I believe it was, which is the first time in the last decade that a non-Power 5 school had a top 10 strength of schedule. So they did all that, right? Then you got to play the season. Well, they had a game where in the conference tournament where Southern Miss, they were winning by 3, 2 strikes. He said he called a pitch a foot off the plate. The ball runs back over. They hit a grand slam.
Janicki to short, ranging over to his left is Jordy Lopez, and Jimmy Janicki is out.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about right here. So this game, Southern Miss, it's the 9th inning. The pitch is supposed to be, you can see Janicki all the way off the plate. This ball is a grand slam. He said it's like it ripped their hearts out of their chest. Well, all they did was answer back the next day. They won a doubleheader, and he said, if we don't win those 2 ball games, we're not in this tournament. So they make the tournament. They go to Gainesville, lose the first game, which says that there's 7% chance since 1999 that you're going to advance. Well, guess what? 7%, that's another number because they went on and won 4 straight, beat Miami twice. Or sorry, beat Florida twice, beat Miami, beat Rider, advanced here.
Look out. Stephen Meyer sends it right back through the box. His second hit. So Brandon Westmoreland gets Jimmy Janicki, the leadoff hitter here in the third, but Meyer delivers right back through the middle. And Troy coming off a 5-run inning against Westmoreland.
Yeah, this is Westmoreland. 5 runs is the most he gave up all year. So this is tied for his worst when you talk about earned runs given up. So he's in uncharted territory already.
Drew Nelson had that RBI triple off the right center field wall his first time up and came around to score. Went 4 for 21 in the regional. Had a homer, drove in 8 runs. He's a two-way player. Actually, a semifinalist for the John Olerud Award, which is for college two-way players. He's pitched 21 innings this year. Meyer away from first, and that pitch sits downstairs. The ball and a strike to Drew Nelson.
Yeah, Clay, he had an appearance in that Gainesville Regional where the bottom of the inning he robbed the home run, the top of the inning he hit a home run. So the defense was there, the offense was there. He was exciting.
It's outside for Westmoreland. Delayed steal, throw gets away. Trey Hill throws it into center, and Meyer will walk into third base. Stephen Meyer just taking his time away from the first base bag. Delayed steal breaks, and it's a throwing error.
Yeah, you can see right there, just a shuffle, and they do this. I think they did this 4 or 5 times in the Gainesville Regional. They do it with a left-handed hitter. Obviously, that blocks the catcher's vision. And if the first baseman is not prepared to let the catcher know, the infielders and everybody, nobody shows up at second base. And that's just the way Troy goes about it.
Just their third error of the NCAA tournament for Little Rock. 2 balls, 1 strike on the left fielder, Drew Nelson. This Troy team, Lance, they were one of the last 4 into the field as an at-large. It's their schedule that put them over the top. Skylar Meade said, that's what galvanized this team. That's what made us so much better, playing the opponents that we did. Weak ground ball. Cano steps on the bag for the out, but Meyer scores. And it's now 6-2.
Yeah, it's a good answer back right here by Troy. Westmoreland makes the pitch, but it's a great read by Meyer. The speed enough to get there. That 6th run will be his season high this year. But you're right, Clay. He heard the noise from the committee. You have to schedule better. You got to get the RPI up. That's exactly what he did. His team answered. I mean, they played 14 Power 5 or Power 4 games. I mean, teams, and then that doesn't count teams that were in the postseason like Southern Miss, Louisiana from their conference. They played Mercer and Campbell, 2 of the first teams out. So, they did exactly what was asked of them, and the committee showed them, hey, you do it, you get rewarded.
Won at Georgia back in February. That really stood out. Beat Alabama here last month in front of a record-setting crowd at the time. That has been blown out of the water here today. Sean Darnell puts it in play, little comebacker. Westmoreland will flip to first, and the inning is over. But another run on the board for Troy on their home field, leading game 1 of the Super 6-2. It's the Mariners and the Orioles this Thursday, 7 o'clock Eastern. Catch it on ESPN. You can also stream the game on the ESPN app. He's former big leaguer Lance Cormier. I'm Clay Matvick. Lance Ewell played in the Super Regionals and in the College World Series back in '99 with the Crimson Tide. But, you know, this atmosphere that these folks in Troy, Alabama are experiencing for the first time, I'm sure you can appreciate.
Yeah, you got the Troy football team right here celebrating the boys, and I remember the same thing. Our football team was like the Tarp Crew in 1999. We played LSU in the Super Regional, and when there was a chance for rain, the football team that was there in the summer, they were the Tarp Crew, so we appreciated that. But, man, it's such a cool experience. I mean, this is the closest thing that you get to be a professional baseball player. You're in college, but you're not having to go to school. You're just playing baseball when it comes down to it. And, heck, I mean, a crowd like this is awesome. Again, like I said, I can't say it enough. This is what college baseball is all about.
Angel Cano out of the 6-hole, leading it off, has an infield single to his credit today. Hit to third on the hop. Pine Fields throws across, and Angel Cano is retired for the first out of the 4th inning. Little Rock got out to the early lead with a couple of hits in the 1st inning. And a leadoff double from Jerdy Lopez in the 3rd. They brought him around to score. And so now Little Rock down 4 here in the 4th. This is Ty Rhodes. Said it before, he's been at Little Rock his entire career, all 4 years. He's going to go down as one of the best program guys in Little Rock history, and just don't see players.
I was about to say, that's going to go down as a rare occasion, spending 4 years at one school nowadays with the transfer portal.
Struck out swinging his first time up.
And good for him. I mean, like, especially when his last 2 years have become the 2 best years in the program's history.
Sure, if you ask Ty Rhodes, he'll tell you that last year's Baton Rouge Regional was the highlight of his career, as they forced a Game 7 there against LSU, the eventual national champs. But this run this year tops it. Swung on and missed. Benjamin Stubbs. 2 down.
He's just got a little bit more bounce to his step, a little bit clay. Fastball down and away. I mean, to be able to go to that glove side, that's your bread and butter, and looks like he's found that groove. And I'm telling you, it was that time where that replay was going on. It took a little while. He was able to throw a lot more pitches and find out what he was messing up, and boy, he's locked in since.
Trying to bunt his way on is Trey Hill. Good bunt, but it rolls foul. Not the right speed. Just pushed foul by the catcher, Trey Hill, who struck out against Stubbs, who now has 4 Ks on the game. Little Rock last year, they were the last team to beat the eventual national champions LSU in last year's national tournament. Chris Curry said that's when this year's team started.
Right, started to believe, right? And then, shoot, they took the if necessary game. They were up 5 runs, I think, in the 5th inning of that game. So they gave every bit of a scare to LSU that they wanted, and obviously you got to give a lot of credit to LSU, finishing them off and finished the College World Series. But, man, Little Rock, they started to believe, and that's where, like you said, where Coach Curry, the belief system that they could be that team was instilled into his players. And when they brought those new guys in, hey, the guys that were here, they believe. Now, like, you got to jump right in and follow suit.
0-2 to Trey Hill. Here comes Stubbs' pitch. Yeah, Coach Curry, after the regional win in Hattiesburg, said, hey, we're not Cinderella. We expected this. We're going to be talking with Coach Curry next half inning. 2 outs, the 0-2 upstairs, 1-2 to Trey Hill.
Well, I think you could basically say that's both teams. I mean, I've heard the same words out of Skylar Mead's mouth, same words out of Coach Curry's mouth. I mean, those guys, like, this is the mid-major part of it. Like, they expect to be here. Troy played in the 2023 regional finals. Little Rock played last year, so they believe they're good enough to be a part of this postseason, and they are.
School record 39 wins. Just the 6th 30-win season in program history. 2 outs, the 2-2. Just got a piece of it. Good battle here. Now you see the pitch count for Stubbs.
Yeah, it keeps climbing. 4th inning. Obviously, you're trying to be around 15 pitches per inning. So looking to finish the 4th at right at the 60 mark. So already being in that mid-70 range.
Big miss.
You can see he's frustrated too, knowing that those last 2 misses, spinning back around. He's getting rotational instead of driving straight to the plate.
Full count. Down the line in the corner, Houston Markham looking at it. It's off the top of the wall. Trey Hill is going to get a double off the wall in right. A ball that looked like was just a lazy fly ball is a 2-out double for Hill.
Yeah, Hill does a good job. Just puts himself into a good hitter's count, 3-2. And that ball's a ball. That's off the plate, up. But just watch how quick he gets to that. The top of the zone. Just put the barrel to the ball. Good things can happen. Markham does a much better job of playing this one off the monster, but an easy double for Hill.
And that came on the 8th pitch of the at-bat, so a good at-bat for Trey Hill. And that brings up Cooper Chaplin, the 9-hole hitter. So Little Rock would like to scratch another one across here in the 4th inning.
I'm telling you, I thought I'd see a lot more breaking balls. That's the cutter for Stubbs, but you could see when you see enough fastballs, because that ball was off the plate, up and away, and Hill does a great job on a 3-2 count to go out there and get it and shoot it off the monster.
Line to center, it's sinking. Stephen Meyer coming on, and he'll make the catch. So Little Rock gets Hill on, but he's stranded. We played 3.5. 6-2 Troy. We're going to talk to Coach Curry next. Back here in Troy, and the NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Chris Curry in his 12th year as the head coach of Little Rock. He's a Little Rock native. It's 6-2. His team is down as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Coach, a lot of game left. What does this Super Regional mean for your program?
Well, it's wonderful for our players. I'm proud for them. You know, last year we pushed our program to new heights. This year we've pushed our program even higher, and these guys have done it. They're not going to give up. They're not going to quit fighting. And I'm just so proud for Little Rock and everybody that's behind us.
Well, Coach, Brandon Westmoreland, obviously your ace, not what you expected to see. What does he need to change to attack these Troy hitters?
Yeah, the first time through he was good, and give Troy credit. They made an adjustment, especially the left-handed hitters. That's where he really got hurt. And same thing at Southern Miss. And so what he's got to do is find the changeup, use the cutter, get below their barrel. But I thought we did a good job of getting one back there after their big inning.
All right, Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Coach Chris Curry, head coach of Little Rock. We welcome those who have been watching USC and North Carolina. Big win for the Trojans there, taking a 1-0 lead in that Super Regional in Chapel Hill. He's Lance Cormier. I'm Clay Matvick. This Trojan War, Little Rock and Troy, in front of a sellout crowd here in Troy, Alabama. Troy had a 5-run second inning, scored another one in the 3rd. Little Rock with a run in the 1st and one in the 3rd. And the player of the regional last week, Jay Boroff for Troy, is at the plate. They call him Babe Ruth now after that amazing weekend in Gainesville, where he had 4 home runs and 12 RBIs.
Yeah, you saw those numbers, 256, 9, and 26. That meant he went into the regional. He was hitting 167, had 5 homers, and 14 RBI on the year. So, like, he literally matched his season numbers in the 5 games in Gainesville.
Can't hang your head. Never know when you're going to be called upon. That one's foul outside at third.
And it got to the point, Clay, where it was like they're obviously pitching to him, but like it just seemed like every pitch he got, it was the same swing. He'd lean back a little bit, the barrel goes straight to the ball, and the ball would go into the bullpen in Gainesville. Like, he was on fire. And just the biggest smiles on his face as he rounded the bases, and when he hit a double, his celebration, you could just tell that there was so much relief on the numbers that he had now that he was truly having fun playing the game.
3-2 count. Brandon Westmoreland's pitch fouled off again. Westmoreland has given up 5 earned runs, 6 total on 6 hits through 3 innings, 1 walk, a couple of strikeouts. Boroff was a JUCO All-American last year at Enterprise State, less than an hour south of Troy here, as he fouls one off again. When he started to see more pitches and take more walks, that's when Skylar Meade, the head coach for Troy, said that Boroff's season started to turn around at the plate.
Well, I mean, that's an easy way to put it, right? You're starting to see the ball. You're letting the game come to you a little bit instead of trying to take the game and go right at it. So I like that approach.
3-2 popped up on the 8th pitch of the at-bat. So he's got a lot of pitches here. Now called off. Cooper Chaplin, the second baseman, gives way for Ty Rhodes for the first out of the 4th. It's going to bring up Houston Markham, who has been hot the last couple of weeks out of the 9-hole. This is the same starting 9 for the 13th straight game for this Troy batting order.
Another guy, too. We saw the 3 home runs right there. He went into postseason with no home runs. Hit his first home run in the conference tournament. Then he hit 2 in the Gainesville Regional. So a guy, like you said, that's hot.
Goes the other way to left. Blake Simpson off his glove, and it's going to hit off the fence. Markham rolls into second base. Kept carrying on Simpson till it carried right over his head, and that's going to be a 1-out double.
Well, Coach Skylar Meade said the park's going to play small, and you see Simpson, first 2 steps are in. You're taught first 2 steps, maybe that first one back, and just athleticism there where he almost makes the catch, but so much carry on the ball gets over his head, and that's a double for Markham.
And his second hit, and her single and a run scored in the second, and now a double here in the 4th. Aaron Pisecki walking to the plate, but first Evan Lee, the pitching coach, is actually, this is going to be the head coach, Chris Curry, coming out, and he's going to make a change. Yep. Gage Haley making his way to the mound here in Troy. Pitching change, 6-2 Troy. events in the history of Troy, Alabama, and the fans have turned out. Previous record attendance 3,982, and that was last month against Alabama here. They've blown that out of the water. Well over 6,000. Troy trying to tack on here, leading 6-2 in the bottom of the fourth. Houston Markham out at second base after a double with one out, and this is Aaron Piasecki coming to the plate for the third time. Had a 2-run homer in the second. His 10th home run of the year. New pitcher is Gage Haley, making his 27th appearance. He made 2 in the regional last week in Hattiesburg.
Yeah, he's been the go-to guy to the bullpen. Not afraid to soak up some innings. Look at that, 27th appearance, 52-plus innings.
Ground ball to first. Angel Cano has it. He'll go to the bag for the out. 2 down now as Markham goes over to third on the play.
Yeah, nice job coming in, throwing strikes. Really good stuff, up to 94, 95 with the fastball. You can see, 6'6", big boy, coming straight over the top on you.
Junior from South Haven, Mississippi. He's a Mississippi State transfer. Had 4 1/3 total innings last week. He gave up 3 runs, 4 hits, walked 4. Did strike out 5. This is Josh Pine, also homered his last time up. High hop for Nolan Friend. Long throw, got him. So Markham is stranded in the 4th inning. We have played 4 here in Troy. It stays 6-2.
The real fun just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on.
College World Series starts a week from today in Omaha, Nebraska. And 79% of Game 1 winners in the Super Regional round advance to the Men's College World Series. 6 of the 8 advanced last year, but it's worth noting that none of the 8 Omaha teams from last year are in the Supers this year. It's going to have a totally different feel this year.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the coolest things about this postseason is a full new field. Just, again, continuing to show you the amount of parity in this game.
This is Jordy Lopez leading it off in the 5th for Little Rock. As these 2 underdogs, this Trojan War, as they're calling it here in Troy, Alabama, squaring off in Game 1. Lopez with a double and a run scored in the 3rd. And Benjamin Stubbs, who's thrown a ton of pitches in this game, but he's still hanging in there. That's a liner right into the glove of Josh Pine at third base. Well hit by Lopez, but he's the first out.
Yeah, obviously not Stubbs' best stuff when it comes to how he feels. I mean, he's pitched behind in the count, going 3 balls to a lot of hitters, but when the offense puts up a 6 spot, he's done a good job of managing the offense for Little Rock and only given up 2 so far through 4 in the third.
And the 6 hits scattered. Nothing really hit all that hard. Biggest thing is he hasn't walked anybody.
Right.
This is the center fielder, Cade Smith. He's had a good day. A double in the first, a single in the third. He has scored a run. Popped up behind the bag at first. Cavill, the big Australian, has a beat on it. He makes the catch on the warning track. ESPN is the home of MLB.TV. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLBTV. Before you started your big league career, you pitched at Alabama and played in the Super Regional round. You won Game 1 of the Supers before taking out LSU in 2 games in 1999. Winning that first game, imperative.
Oh, it just sets the tone on the weekend, right? This was 99. My freshman year was the first year of this new format, right? And so LSU, we got matched up in that Super Regional, and yeah, we were able to take the first game, finish it off in Game 2. Made it to Omaha.
Nolan Friend wraps it to short, and that's a 7-pitch inning for Benjamin Stubbs. 1, 2, 3 in the 5th. Head coach Skylar Meade, you're not going to want to miss this on the backside of this timeout.
That keeps us legal with the fire marshal. Yeah, whatever you guys want to go with.
That's the voice of Skylar Meade, the head coach of Troy, as he's getting his voice warmed up here. 6,426 coach here. Your town has showed up for this program. What do you think?
It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Good for the Trojans. So, you know, we had to stop at that number to keep the fire marshal around here happy, but I'll pay all the fines. I bet people around here, if they try to take me out in cuffs, they might pay my bail too.
No doubt they would, Coach. How about the offense explodes in the second inning? This is something that Troy does a lot. Puts up crooked numbers. How did that feel?
It felt good. I liked what we were doing. We kind of adjusted to his extension. It felt like once we got to that second inning, and obviously took some very impactful swings, and we got a little RPF magic on that ball that Drew hit off a wire or whatever it hit and ejected about 100 feet. So big fan of that.
All right, Coach, we know you have to go coach third, so we'll let you go.
Okay, Blake, run fast. Okay, guys, you're the best. Time me on the way out.
Right.
Skylar Meade, we're supposed to time him as he runs out to his third base coach's box.
He's got an easy spot, this one. It's just right there. He's in third base dugout, third base box. A little slow today. He was pretty fast in Gainesville. A lot of times he had to go all the way across, so he said he had some buddies watching back home, timing him up on it as well.
Well, he had to find that helmet.
Yeah.
Blake Cavill hit it hard, but Nolan Friend takes care of him at third base. So 1 out here for Troy in the 5th inning, and this is Jimmy Janicki. Again, Skylar Meade, head coach, pitching coach, coaches third base. And it wasn't always that way this season. Their hitting coach, Ben Wolgamott, was in the third base coach's box for a large part of the first half. Then, they ran into a little bit of a hitting drought, and they decided to mix it up, and they've just stayed with this arrangement ever since. The guy at the plate, Jimmy Janicki, has 85 runs batted in this year. 20-plus doubles, 15-plus homers, and 70-plus RBIs. The list is few, and it's an impressive list. As this one's rolled out to short, Jordy Lopez throws out Janicki for the second out. I mean, Janicki on a list with guys like Landon Hairston and some of the other top names in college baseball this year.
Caden Sorrell, Ace Reese, two of the top guys in the SEC. Yeah, that's a solid list. About Gage Haley, though, coming in, giving Little Rock everything they need. 4 batters faced, 4 ground balls, 4 quick outs on 9 pitches.
And now he's going to face Stephen Meyer. Meyer 2 for 2, a couple of base hits, a couple of runs scored, also has a stolen base. Stephen Meyer has battled shoulder issues the last couple of years. Missed 7 games in early March, and the team went 2-5 without him. He's an important part of the outfield, important part of this lineup. Batting in the 5-hole. Off-speed pitch sits high, 2-1. Two outs, 2-1 from Haley, and another foul ball. Just over a month ago, Lance, Troy was 3 games under 500. They have won 14 of their last 19, and Skylar Meade says it's just been fun watching the guys feed off the energy.
I think that's the rewarding part of coaching. When you've set everything in place, right? You've shown the process, you've shown, hey, this is what it takes, and guys finally buy in, and they start to see the success, and they start to go, oh, wow, what Coach was saying was right. This is what we need to do, and they start seeing it, and then, man, that's the fun part of baseball. You start winning, boy.
Two outs, base is empty. Haley's 2-2. And that's called strike 3. What an inning. Gage Haley, man, just pounding the strike zone, keeping Little Rock in this one as we are through 5, 6-2 in this battle of underdogs.
Well, we got a 6-2 ball game here in Troy. This is how we've got here. Benjamin Stubbs has settled in nicely. He's got 5 innings, 4 Ks. Boy, the fastball was working early. In the second inning, though, Troy's offense explodes for 5 runs. How about back-to-back jacks? Aaron Pisecki, Josh Pine right here. 8th time this season the Troy hitters have gone back-to-back. Put up a 5 spot and haven't looked back since.
Benjamin Stubbs making his 17th start of the year, and you know, it hasn't always been super easy for him today. But here he is pitching in the 6th, and that rides in on Blake Simpson, the leadoff man, and it hits him. Third time that Simpson is on. Hit by pitch to start the 6th.
I think he might be calling a foul ball.
Are they?
Yeah. Yeah, Simpson.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't sell it good enough. He starts kind of walking. He shakes it a little bit. You can see it hits the knob right there.
Sure.
As he's walking off, home plate umpire A.J. Wendell says foul ball, so he starts wrapping the gloves up, and that just tells me you're right. It didn't hit it.
Well, Simpson's still in pain, undoubtedly. And they're looking at that right hand. Simpson had an infield RBI in the first inning. Stole a base, reached on an error his last time to the plate. And he's a key man. Now Little Rock is challenging this.
This is a great sell if it didn't hit him. He looks like that's a painful check swing. But you had mentioned Stubbs is settling in, right? 23 pitches in the first inning. The third inning, he gave up another run, had 20. Then it's a 17 pitch and a 7-1. So he's settled in nicely. That looks like to me that's off the knob of the bat.
Yeah, agreed. And it was called a foul ball. And here comes the call.
Calling the field is confirmed. It's a foul ball. Little Rock will lose one challenge. They have one remaining.
So each team with one challenge remaining. As Troy had an unsuccessful challenge earlier. Yeah, Stubbs, his pitch count got elevated early, but again, hasn't walked anybody. And those 6 hits have been scattered. He's given up just 1 hit the last 2 innings. Ground ball to short. Paiseki bobbles it. And Simpson is aboard to start the 6th.
Almost a mirror image of his first hit in that first inning. That got their first run on the board, just slapping it into that 6-hole. Paiseki's not able to come up with it. Has to play it on that tough hop. I think even if he catches it, there's no way. With Simpson left-handed out of the box with the athleticism and the speed, he's going to be there.
Yeah, I agree with you, but they are charging him with an error.
Okay.
And that is the 9th now for Troy in the NCAA tournament. As Nico Bamba comes up now, the DH is 0 for 2 with a couple of groundouts. '24-year-old DH, 7th year of college baseball. Had 3 years of JUCO, which started in the year 2020. 2 years at Little Rock, then went to Division II Lubbock Christian last year. Swing and a miss, it's 1-2. Thought he was done playing. He's going to be Chris Curry's grad assistant. But then when you add in all those waivers over the course of his career, the COVID waiver, the Diego Pavia JUCO waiver, and a Division II waiver, he gets the 7th year, which you didn't see coming. Reaches for that one, it's a strikeout.
Boy, look at the smile on Stubbs' face. He's got a little bit more bounce to his step. 94 off the plate. Guess the guy's going to chase. Came into the game with a very high chase percentage, not only on the breaking balls, but the fastball as well. It's got some life on it.
Strikeout number 5 for Benjamin Stubbs. And here's Angel Cano. Also has an infield single tonight. Looking ahead to tomorrow, the likely starter for Troy, left-hander Hayden Smith, the Kentucky transfer. Possibly they would go with right-hander Tommy Egan. Either way, they're in good shape that way. But here's Benjamin Stubbs now, well into the 6th inning. And the deeper you can go into a ball game without touching that bullpen, the better at this time of year.
Absolutely. I mean, you can save the bullpen and allow them that way. If something happens early the next game, the bullpen arms are fresh and they can come in and do their job without being tired. Because obviously at this point of the year, everybody's tired, everybody's arms are sore. It's just a matter of management. How can you do that? And it all starts with starting pitching.
Simpson stole a base in the first inning. He's at first. 1 out, 1 on, the 0-2 pitch. This is going to get back out of play. Little Rock trying to get a run on the board for the first time since the 3rd inning. These are old Sun Belt rivals. Little Rock, of course, now in the Ohio Valley Conference, won the tournament in that league for their 2nd straight year. But now next year, they change affiliation again. They're going to the United Athletic Conference. Upstairs, 1-2. Ground ball deep short. Backhanded Piasecki goes to second for the force in time to get a speedy Simpson. So after an error in the inning by Piasecki, that was not an easy play, and he gets the out.
Yeah, they continue to pound the ball in this 6-hole right here, and Piasecki does a great job. There's only one play to make, and it is the quick turnaround. He's got to get his hips all the way squared off to second base. Darnell is there for that short, easy throw. That's a good job right there by the Troy defense.
So Cano at first with 2 outs, and here's Ty Rhodes. It's been a tough day for Ty. The right fielder, a couple of strikeouts, both swinging. He's also played third base, has caught over the course of his career. Chris Curry was telling me yesterday about Ty and how he always was pretty sure that he was coming to play for him. He played Legion baseball back in the day with Ty's dad. Chris and Todd Rhodes played youth baseball together, so he had a pretty good in with the family.
That's an easy way to get recruiting started.
Ty committed as a 10th grader. To left field. Drew Nelson right there. He'll put it away for the 3rd out. Little Rock goes quietly in the 6th. Still 6-2 Troy here in Game 1 of the Super Regionals. There's Trojan War, Game 1 of the Super Regionals here in Troy, Alabama, 6-2. As the Troy Trojans had that big 2nd inning where they scored 5 times. Cade Smith has a couple of hits. Brandon Westmoreland knocked out of the game already, the starter for Little Rock. Benjamin Stubbs has looked pretty good through 6 innings, even though there have been a couple of high-stress moments.
Yeah, you're talking about settling in. I mean, giving up a run in the 1st, another run in the 3rd, but he settled in super nicely.
Leadoff base knock for Drew Nelson. His 2nd hit.
This is what Haley's trying to do, just obviously get ahead. You see Nelson going out there swinging early, gets that ground ball up the middle, but when you look at a pitcher that's trying to get sinker balls and get balls down, you're going to give up hits, and that's exactly what Nelson gets.
Eighth hit for Troy. Gage Haley came on with 1 out in the 4th inning. Had a fast 5th inning, a 1-2-3 inning where he struck out Meyer to end it. And now, first hit he has allowed after retiring 5 in a row. This is Sean Darnell at the plate. Second baseman had an RBI sac fly to left in the 2nd inning and grounded out on a comebacker in the 3rd.
That ball might have been a strike if Trey Hill catches that better. That was a nice overhand curveball.
Troy lost its first game last week to Miami, then rattled off the 4 straight wins in Gainesville. Beat Ryder, beat Miami in the rematch, and then the Gators twice. The number 8 national seed goes down. Troy outscoring Florida 26-13 in those 2 games. And it seems like when they do score runs, they come in bunches.
Exactly.
They don't pick at you. They just overwhelm you.
That's you explained that perfectly.
Skylar Meade calls Sean Darnell a good college baseball player. Looked really good in batting practice the last couple of days. As the runner was off, he fouls this one away. Another JUCO transfer in this lineup for Skylar Meade. 2nd season with Troy. And started every game at second base the last couple of years. And, you know, he's a matinee idol with that mustache.
Well, it's always good, like especially for a program to know that, like, I mean, Blake Cavell every single day at first base. Sean Darnell, like you just mentioned there. A guy like Josh Pine, third base.
Looks at strike 3 here, 1 out.
When you know what to expect when you come to the ballpark, you said like the 13th straight game for this lineup, exactly the same. So guys know what to expect, and that makes guys comfortable. When you're comfortable, you play better.
Here's Boroff again. He has been quiet compared to last weekend. 0 for 2 so far. Flew out to left, flew out to right. He's from Pike Road, Alabama, a suburb of Montgomery. And you hit on it the last time he came to the plate. His batting average was below 200, 185 coming into the regional last week. And everybody in the college baseball world knew his name after that weekend in Gainesville.
I mean, like the numbers, I mean, when you have a season in a 5-game regional, like that's why everybody's going to know your name, and they're going to turn your nickname into Jabe Ruth. And right now, this place, if he unleashes one, every fan in this stadium, 6,426, they announced the attendance, right, will go nuts.
So Ben Wolgamott calls time here. They're going to have a little offensive confab. Ben is the hitting coach. And we saw in-game adjustment already from Troy. First at bat in the first inning, first 3 hitters swinging at the first pitch. They were a little more patient in the 2nd inning, and they exploded for 5 runs.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of times, you know, as a player or a team, you don't adjust until the other team makes you adjust. And so sometimes that you have to notice that on the fly, and the good teams notice it quickly, and they're able to do it. The bad teams, they don't see it happen, and the other team gets them quick.
1 out. Nelson at first base for Troy, leading 6-2. That's away, a ball and a strike. A lot of sunshine out in Doubles alley there. The tailgate area beyond the left center field wall, just full of people. They haven't hung a Troy double yet, though, on the wall. That's a tradition here at the ballpark. Tickets so hard to come by here the last couple of days. Fouled off. Troy, Alabama, talked about it before, population just under 18,000, about an hour southeast of Montgomery. One of the 3 host sites for a super regional in this state this weekend. Auburn is hosting, Alabama is hosting. 2-2 pitch. This is smashed, look out. There it goes, over the fence. Goodbye home run. Boroff has done it again. Almost 110 off the bat for the guy they call Jay Bruth.
Man, there is something special about what is going on with Jay Boroff. Look at that. Lean back, finish high. Watch it fly, Jay. Home run number 10 on the year. Number 5 in the postseason.
Now the umpires are together between the mound and home plate. They are discussing something, and I'm not exactly sure what this is about. But the fans are now concerned as well. Skylar Meade, Troy's head coach, is going over to get an explanation about what this is all about. Did Boroff do something with the bat after the home run? Did he try to show up the other team potential?
I don't think so. He hadn't done it all regional last week, so I didn't think he would do anything different. But there might be a warning. Look, they're talking to both coaches.
I think Chris Curry is pointing to where the bat landed, potentially. And I think that's what this is about. I think this is going to be a warning for Jay Boroff.
Well, you could tell the way Skylar Meade, Troy's head coach, took it like, okay, I'll take the warning. It wasn't going to be something that was going to happen to him immediately, because obviously anything that happens, we saw it in the Trey Phelps home run. He's got to miss the first game of the Super Regional, so you get tossed. You have to mandatorily sit out the next game.
All right, so here's a look at Boroff after the swing. Holds the bat about the third of the way up the first base line, and yeah, it is tossed in the direction of the Little Rock dugout. And that's what had Chris Curry, concerned, and the umpires did come together. They decide to issue a warning to Boroff and the Troy dugout.
And I like that. Give the warning first, but again, sooner or later, we got to just put the bat down. I mean, like, or toss it to your side. You know where you know the opposing dugout's over there. You know it's going to cause a stir. So either drop the bat or toss it to your dugout. Because think about it, if you cost your team the opportunity, and not only yourself but your team the chance to play the next game just because you won't let go of the bat after a home run.
There used to be no tolerance for it in college baseball. They've allowed a little bit of celebration and shows of personality. You got to be careful this time of year. You don't want to lose an opportunity to play for a championship. Houston Markham, the 9-hole hitter, flies out to left for the second out. Well, the Stanley Cup Finals continue Tuesday night. Game 3, series tied at 1 as the Hurricanes visit the Golden Knights. 8 o'clock Eastern time. Watch it on ABC and stream it live on the ESPN app. 3 home runs now in this game for the Troy Trojans. And the lead is now 8-2. Back to the top of the order, Aaron Piasecki, the shortstop. He had a 2-run homer in the second.
He jumped all over that fastball from Westmoreland.
Nice hop for Chaplin, the second baseman, and the inning is over. Jay Boroff doing Jay Boroff things. 2-run shot to deep left here in the 6th.
Well, my man stays hot, gets the fastball in the middle part of the plate. He knows what to do. He had a little bad toss. 8-2, Troy.
Big win for those Trojans. We'll see who wins this game 1 against Troy and Little Rock. Battle of the Trojans here. Benjamin Stubbs is out of the ballgame. The starter for Troy looked pretty good. Goes 6 innings, gives up just 2 runs, 6 hits, struck out 5, and didn't walk anybody. Just shy of 100 pitches tonight. And now here comes Zach Crotchfeld, big junior left-hander from Jackson, New Jersey.
Yeah, he's been the horse out of the bullpen. Look at that 27th appearance. Love the strikeout to walk ratio in those 59 innings. But how about his last 3 appearances? Had 5 innings against Southern Miss, 1 run. He goes 5 innings, no runs in the Gainesville Regional. Picks up 2 wins. He's the reliever of the regional. So, like, this dude has been as good as it get. Look at that. Look at those postseason numbers.
2 wins in the Sun Belt, 2 in the Gainesville Regional. It's been a breakout year for Crotchfeld. Working ahead here of Trey Hill. 8, 9, and 1 due up for Little Rock as it's go time here for Little Rock. They've been trailing since the 2nd inning.
Yeah, and Stubbs came out with a really good fastball, but Crotchfeld's got an even better one up to 97.
In his last 15 innings, Crotchfeld has allowed only 1 run.
Right.
That is just phenomenal.
Getting it done when it matters most. Obviously, the season has been on the line. They've been playing basically postseason ball since the end of the season started, and they continue to go out there and knowing their backs are against the wall. I truly believe this team loves to play like that.
0-2 to Hill, gets a ground ball. Back to him, spins, throws it to first, and Hill is retired. First out here of the 7th. Crotchfeld spent 2 seasons at Auburn, 1 at Texas Tech. And sometimes a change of scenery brings a change of fortune. That's what's happened for Zach.
Yeah, and he settled in nice. And again, I'm telling you, a lot of times for players, it's the comfort level of where they're at. When you feel comfortable, you're going to have your best results. And there is no doubt right now that Zach Crotchfield is comfortable in his own skin here in this Troy program.
Cooper Chaplin
That's just by you.
trying to figure out what just whizzed by him.
Yeah, it's called 95, a little fuzz.
0 for 2 out of the 9 hole for the second baseman. Another ground ball. Gonna have to hurry. Sean Darnell to first in time to retire Chaplin, and now here comes Jordi Lopez with 2 away. The UFL playoffs are here as the DC Defenders take on the Orlando Storm this Sunday, 3 o'clock Eastern time. Watch it on ABC and stream the game live on the ESPN app. Ole Miss and Auburn coming up later. Day 1 of the Super Regional round. It's the last game to get underway on day 1. Series should be good. 2 of the 7 SEC teams in this year's Super Regionals. Tigers hosting a Super for the 2nd consecutive year. Ole Miss and Auburn did not meet during the regular season. What do you expect there?
Yeah, that's something that you see. I mean, like Mississippi State, Georgia faced each other 4 times.
Yeah.
So that's tough for Georgia. Even though it's in Athens, you're going, can you beat a team 6 times? Because they've already beaten them 4 straight.
Cabell giving it a look, runs out of real estate. Foul ball for Lopez.
You know, when it comes to scouting and the amount of times these games are on TV and SEC Plus and all that, you know, these players have seen everybody. So obviously you haven't faced them, but I kind of like it, the fact that they haven't played each other. It's new, it's fresh. That one's going to be fun too.
Pitch number 9 of the inning for Crotchfield as he's worked ahead of these 3 hitters. 0-2 just off the plate. Crowd wanted strike 3. They're not going to get it. $6,426. They've been invested in every pitch. First ever Super Regional in Troy, Alabama. The 1-2. Now the count's even. Parking at a premium around the ballpark. You're better off walking to the game.
Yeah, everything is a premium in this ballpark right now.
Called strike 3. Crotchfield gets the punch out. Lopez goes down on strikes. And that ends the top of the 7th. Stretch time here in Troy. 8-2. Troy leading game 1.
On ESPN, 40-plus NCAA championships. Confetti rains. Nets are cut. Joy erupts. Hardware is hoisted. History happens here on ESPN, home of NCAA championships.
The NCAA Super Regional coverage continues this weekend across ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, and ESPN Plus. For more information, visit ncaa.com, the home for all NCAA championships. He's Lance Cormier. I'm Clay Matvick here in Troy, Alabama, where Troy leads it on the scoreboard 8-2. And a pitching change. Blake Van Cleve, a right-hander, is going to come in after Gage Haley goes 2 2/3 of relief.
Cleve's going to come in 87 and 90, maybe touch a little 92 with it. Slider, curveball, so you're mostly going to see fastball, 12-6 hook. But he's got one job, right? I mean, you keep it here. Any other runs, you give him more insurance runs, you just make it harder for your offense.
Josh Pine homered in the second inning. He is 1 for 3. Van Cleve was not needed in the Hattiesburg Regional. His last outing came in the conference tournament against Eastern Illinois. Went 1 1/3 scoreless. What'd you think of Gage Haley? He goes 2 2/3. Gave up the 2-run homer to Boroff, but other than that,
everybody
not too
else,
bad.
that's what everybody does, gives up home
right.
runs to Boroff. No, I thought he threw the ball well. I mean, remember, first 4 guys, he came in, he got 4 straight ground balls. I thought he pitched really good. Again, you run into one of the hottest hitters in the country, ball gets over the middle, Boroff deposits it, but I thought he did a nice job and, steadied the offense for a little bit.
This one is scalded to center off the bat of Pine, but right at Cade Smith, their center fielder. One out here in the bottom of the 7th. So Little Rock, their Game 2 starter, likely is going to be left-hander Brigden Parker. 4 and 3 on the year with an ERA under 5. And if they can keep this one close, Van Cleve can eat up some outs. Again, save bullpen arms for tomorrow. That would be enormous. Blake Cavill 0 for 2 with a walk. Blake grew up in Sydney, Australia. His dad, Ozzy, Matthew Cavill, owns a traveling team in that country. He played against the Savannah Bananas. He taught him how to hit, and he sends this one to the warning track. Deep fly ball out to Smith, and that's the second out. I imagine the style of game is a little bit different in Australia.
Little different. But you got to like what you see if you're Troy, because, you're going Blake Cavill 0 for 3. Right now, Jimmy Janicki's 0 for 3. So you got your 2 main power guys, RBI guys in the middle of this lineup, don't have a hit. But as a team, you have 8 runs on the board, you'll take it.
Janicki is 0 for 3. Jimmy has been invited to try out for the National Collegiate team, which will begin their tryouts in early July. This guy's 2027 draft stock continues to rise.
Big time.
They really like him.
Yeah, he's one of the top guys. When you talk about exit velo, and he has one of the best ones in the country, and obviously he's a very good defensive catcher as well. Can also, this is what we're seeing with catchers these days. It's way more athleticism. They're not just the big body guys that have to play back there because they can't do anything else. He could play third. He can play in the outfield. He played in the outfield in the Gainesville Regional. So he brings a lot to the table.
1 and 2. Van Cleve misses upstairs. Jimmy Janicki is tied with Brooks Bryan for the most runs batted in a season at Troy. Bryan had 85 in 2024, and that's what Janicki has. This one is popped down the third base line. Friend going into foul ground. The shortstop calling everybody off, and Jerdy Lopez makes the catch for the 3rd out, and the 7th inning is over. Troy goes quietly. Little Rock needs to get it going. Down 6 here in Troy. The NCAA Baseball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? What in the world is going on in college baseball is what a lot of fans were saying last week when these two teams advanced out of their respective regionals. Little Rock out of Hattiesburg, Troy out of Gainesville. And this Trojan War heads to the 8th inning. Troy with that explosive 5-run second hasn't trailed since. As you look at our game track.
Yeah, a lot of the 3 home runs stick out, but Benjamin Stubbs' outing had given up 2 runs early in the 3rd inning. I think he had 1 out and he'd already given up, so he had 2 in the 3rd and he'd given up 2 runs. And boy, from then on out, he has settled in and he's sneaked out 5. That's something we thought it was going to be. He was going to be more of a 4-and-dive type of guy, and it was going to be a bullpen game, but was able to get 6 strong innings, only 2 runs, and hand the ball off to their hottest reliever, in Zach Crotchfeld, who already has 1 scoreless so far.
Cade Smith leading it off for Little Rock, which hasn't had a hit since the 4th inning. 2 runs on 6 hits for Little Rock today. And Cade Smith, he has 3 of them. 3 of the 7 now for the Little Rock Trojans as he leads off the 8th inning with a bingo. I'll bring up Nolan Friend. Now, one of these teams will be headed to Omaha. The College World Series starts a week from today. Another Super Regional set to get started here in about 45 minutes. Ole Miss at Auburn, the last of our Day 1 Super Regional openers. This one is swung on and hit well to center. Ranging to his right, Stephen Meyer out there puts it away in front of the warning track as Friend gave it a ride, but he is now 0 for 4.
Yeah, that's a good shot right there, but boy, you can see just how good Stephen Meyer is in center field, covers a lot of ground. That's a big part of the ballpark. You see, I mean, it's 400 to dead center, but that alley goes deep. He has to cover a lot of ground when you need that type of outfielder when you play in a park like this.
Zach Crotchfeld now 16 1/3 innings straight with allowing just 1 run. He's getting ahead of hitters as he gets ahead of Blake Simpson.
But just trusting your stuff. I mean, that's like the guy rolls onto the mound with fastball that can touch 97. He's got the slider, got the cutter, change up as well. So, I mean, he's also got the confidence. We've talked about just the last 5 or 6 outings, how good he's been. So, I mean, when you got that kind of confidence, you got that kind of stuff, he is attacking hitters and getting the results to match.
Simpson, an RBI infield single his first time up. Got Little Rock on the board. He's reached on a couple of errors since. He goes down swinging here. Second strikeout for Crotchfeld, 2 down.
Look like this is an uncomfortable at bat right here. Watch this swing. Fastball just dots it down and away. That's what you call a wave pitch because he's just waving right at it. Simpson trying to shoot the ball the other way like he's done twice already, but can't catch up to that 95.
Crotchfeld's former team, Auburn, like we said, just a few minutes away from getting its Super Regional started. He has found a new home here in Troy, and he has been dominant. This one is hit well to right in the corner, running it down, Houston Markham. Taking a hit away from Bomba. Smith is stranded. We played 7.5, and it stays 8-2 here in Troy.
No matter how good your stuff is, you always need a little help from your friends. Houston Markham providing the help. Crotchfeld says thank you very much.
Welcome back to the NCAA Super Baseball Regionals presented by Capital One. He's Lance Cormier, I'm Clay Matvick. It is a packed house here at Riddle Pace Field, 95-year-old stadium. And there are even people in the football stadium. The vet hanging over the side there watching into the ballpark here. These tickets are just so hard to come by. But the crew here has done a great job making the accommodations comfortable as they can for the fans who wanted to see this history.
I mean, that's all you can ask for. Again, the city, like I said, the mayor has mentioned obviously the biggest thing to happen in the city of Troy, and they stepped up. They did exactly what they stepped up, showed out what you can expect. I mean, you always say you build it, they will come, right? When you open it up, they will show, and that's what they did. They put as many seats as they can, and everybody has showed up.
Stephen Meyer, Drew Nelson, Sean Darnell for Troy. They've hit 3 home runs in this ballgame. Lead at 8-2. Winner of this Super Regional will be advancing to Omaha for the first time in program history. Neither of these teams played in a Super Regional before today. And Troy only the 8th 3 seed to ever host a Super, and the first since Washington in 2018. Hit sharply past a diving second baseman, Cooper Chaplin. Stephen Meyer, his 3rd hit. And Troy double-digit hits today now.
Yeah, 3 singles for Stephen Meyer. Played some good defense. Sees this 12-6 hook. Just stays up. You can recognize the spin once that ball's up in the zone. Short, quick to the ball. Meyer gets on board again, like you said, for the 3rd time. Had that delayed steal, so another opportunity here. Nelson, the left-handed hitter.
Got to believe that Skylar Meade would love to see some insurance on the board. Little Rock, you know, as head coach Chris Curry has said, his offense is lethal, and they've been stymied at times today, but they could explode in the 9th.
And that's where, obviously, as an insurance run, it just puts a lot more pressure on your offense. But, man, this is the nature of good pitching beats good hitting most of the time.
Blake Van Cleve lands a breaking ball strike to Drew Nelson, who has 2 hits today and 2 runs scored. Also drove in a run in the 3rd inning after that RBI triple in the 2nd. Smacked into right field, base knock. Meyer on his way to 3rd. He's going to get there standing up. Here come the Troy Trojans again. Runners at the corners in the 8th. And nobody out for Sean Darnell.
How about the 5-6 hole? Stephen Meyer, Drew Nelson, 6 for 8. Little 4-hole special right here, 1st to 3rd. Troy's got action going with nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th.
Brandon Westmoreland started, went 3 1/3. Gage Haley went 2 2/3 in relief, gave up a home run as well to Boroff, and Blake Van Cleve came on last inning, now in trouble here in the 8th as he throws to Sean Darnell. 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly back in the 2nd.
The bigger trouble is what's waiting on deck. Jay Boroff. Opportunity to hit with men on base. Not something any pitcher wants right now.
Cal Poly, the other 3 seed in their Super Regional round, playing at West Virginia this weekend. Lost earlier today 12-2 in Morgantown. That Super Regional also guarantees a first-time College World Series team. And a lot of history being made this weekend in college baseball. Love to see it. Way upstairs, 2-1 to Sean Darnell.
Yeah, Van Cleve just not able to land that breaking ball like he did in the 1st inning that he was out there just leaving it up. That's a pitch that's easily recognizable when it leaves the hand that high.
Darnell, 4 hits in the national tournament. He has driven in 3. Strike is buried at the knees, 2-2. Sean Darnell from Wetumpka, Alabama. Another breaking ball that doesn't land. Throw right at the pitcher on the delayed steal. Trey Hill threw it right into Van Cleve's waist. He's lucky he didn't hurt his hurler.
This has become Troy's MO. The delayed steal, they did it 5 times in Gainesville. Left-handed hitter. Trey Hill has no clue. Then all of a sudden he pops up. Boy, you're right, hits Van Cleve right in the midsection.
And it looks like Van Cleve is going to be okay. I think he got most of his glove on it to protect himself. But now runners at second and third and nobody out. And that 3-2 misses wide. Bases full of Troy Trojans. And here comes Jay Boroff. This place will come unglued if Boroff does it again. But here comes Chris Curry. And he's going to make the change. Blake Van Cleve unable to get anybody out in the 8th.
Lost control of the breaking ball. You could just see he was up early on in his first couple hitters. It was really good, big 12-6, but once he started losing control of that, Troy hitter started laying off of it and jumping all over the fastball.
So here comes Boroff now with the bases loaded. This is what he did his last time to the plate in the 6th inning, his 5th home run of the NCAA tournament.
Man, I'm telling you, he is seeing beach balls coming at him, and it seems like, God, they just keep throwing him in the same spot, and that's where he wants it. Does a good job of getting the lift on that ball, getting it out there, and he has as much fun as anybody when it comes to the Troy program, the celebrations, everything about it. But hey, when you start winning ball games like this, it is really fun.
Now you would think that 5 home runs in a national tournament might be some kind of record. Well, it's not. Auburn's Chase Fralick hit 6 in the regional last week, and he plays tonight against Ole Miss, 86 miles up the road. But what a tournament it's been for Boroff.
Is that how far, 86 miles?
Yeah.
Is that how far I'm about to drive?
You're going to get a chance to go see your boy play.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. This crowd has really enjoyed Game 1 of their Super Regional. They are seeing this team up close and personal after watching on television last week. Most of them did anyway. This team make that run through the Gainesville Regional, and they saw what Boroff did there. And if he can do what he's been doing one more time with the bases loaded and blow this game wide open ahead of the 9th, you'll hear a roar here in South Alabama like you've never heard. This is Josh Beasley now. He has been used a lot out of the Little Rock bullpen this year. This will be appearance number 29.
We have Troy Little Rock, first ever Super Regional, right? First ever Super Regional here in Troy. We got 2 Australians on the field. Like, this is where college baseball is. This is awesome. 29th appearance, 3-0 with a save. Little sidewinder, 88 with the fastball. Look for a lot of sinker, slider combination, especially the right-handed hitter trying to get that ground ball double play.
Bases loaded, nobody out. Jay Boroff at the plate. And the sidewinder misses outside. 11 hits now for Boroff in the NCAA tournament. 14 runs batted in. Had a grand slam in the first game against Florida last week. Long set from Beasley. Out in front of it. Ball and a strike.
mean, that graphic just literally matched his season totals in the last 6 games. I mean, that's just, look at that, 5-5, 14-14. 27 games, 6 games. That's unbelievable.
He was hitting 185 a week ago.
Kids just tells you, right? Stay ready. Your time's coming. You're going to get your name called. Coach Skylar Meade continues to put his name in the lineup, boy, and he has made that decision a beautiful one.
Ben Wolgamott, the hitting coach, coming out. A little chat here again with Boroff after he almost swung out of his helmet.
I can tell you one thing, he didn't say shorten up, because he's not. There's no doubt he's going to take that same swing if he gets an opportunity.
Troy looking for some insurance here ahead of the 9th for Little Rock. 3 on, nobody out. Beasley's pitch to Boroff. Look out!
Oh,
mercy! Grand slam! Jay Boroff, his 2nd Grand Slam of the NCAA tournament. 2nd home run of this game. 6th home run of the NCAA tournament, which ties a record. And it's now a 10-run lead for Troy. Have you ever seen anything like it?
Man, he's as hot as could be. I mean, they're chanting MVP. Obviously, he won the MOP in the Gainesville Regional, and right now, inside track for this Super Regional if Troy's able to pull it off.
Swing and a miss by Houston Markham. As you look at the guy that is being called Jabe Ruth, Jay Boroff. JUCO All-American last year, down the road at Enterprise State. Comes to Troy and has quickly become a program icon. Nice catch there by Angel Cano at first base. And that is the first out as Markham is retired. Here's another look.
Yeah, just a same swing, lean back, watch it fly. Somehow, some way, he just keeps getting the ball over the middle, and he deposits it and has become a folk hero.
Back to the top of the order in Pisecki, who homered in the 2nd inning. Tip of the hat to Ben Wolgamott. A couple of times he has come out ahead of Boroff's home runs and had a word of wisdom. I'd like to know what he said.
We got to find out what the communication is going on, because it is working.
The home run whisperer, Ben Wolgamott.
The best part, he's a DH. You can just sit back and relax the rest of the game and soak it all in.
Another crooked number on the board for Troy here in the 8th inning. Swung on and missed. It's a strikeout. Pisecki will sit down, 2 away. So now 62 runs scored by this Troy offense in the last 5 games. And we talked about it before. Skylar Meade touched on. He said it kind of feeds on itself.
Yeah. And they really do. And that's, you can just tell they're having so much fun. Jay Boroff just got a curtain call.
Might not be the last.
No. I mean, you look at the lineup, it's from 5 to 9. We're talking, that's 10 hits. Sean Darnell's 0 for 2 in the 7th spot, but you got 3 for 4 Stephen Meyer, 3 for 4 Drew Nelson, Jay Boroff 2 for 4 2 Jacks, Houston Markham 2 for 4 as well. So I mean, like, that's just unbelievable production from that bottom of the lineup. And it doesn't have to be that part. Like that's the best thing about this Troy lineup, because they have a really good top of the lineup that just hasn't done that much today. They haven't needed it.
12 runs, 12 hits for Troy. Josh Pine, he had a homer in the second inning, his 10th of the year.
Yeah, as I say, they haven't done much. The leadoff guy and the 2-hole both have home runs. They just only have 1 hit, so they've gotten their production.
$18 homers in the tournament for Troy, 4 tonight now. In foul ground, and it's going to twist out of play for Pine. Pine 1 for 4. Again, has more hits than any active player in college baseball. He was 9 for 25 with a homer in the Gainesville Regional last week. Transfer from the Indiana Hoosiers. His 5th and final year of college baseball, wants to finish up in Omaha. 2-2 pitch, raked foul. Ninth NCAA tournament for Troy, their first since 2023. Soft liner, and that's going to be caught by the shortstop, Jordy Lopez, for the 3rd out. He did it again, folks. It's unbelievable. Jabe Boroff, a grand slam.
Yeah, little rinse repeat. This is definitely not a replay. It is Jabe Boroff again with home run number 2. This time a grand slam to make it 12-2 Troy.
The Trojans of Troy leading the Trojans of Little Rock 12-2. Troy 3 outs away from a Game 1 victory. If you're just joining us, Jabe Boroff has hit 2 home runs in this ball game for Troy, including a grand slam. He now has 6 homers in the last 2 weekends of the NCAA tournament.
Just continue where he left off that Gainesville Regional. Came into play with 5 home runs on the season. He hit 5 in Gainesville. He has just continued to rake. And like, that's what it's all about. Look at the smile on that face. He talked about in one of our post-game interviews of how tough the season was. His girlfriend, his mom and dad sending him Bible verses to help him get past a lot of the struggles, and just kept his mind right, kept working, and he kept getting his name called in the lineup, and now he is producing at record pace right now.
All he has to do is hit. He's not playing the field right now. He's a catcher by trade. But when you're just able to focus on one thing, sometimes that can help you, and it certainly is going great now for Boroff as Angel Cano leads off the inning, hit by a pitch from Matt Dill, the new pitcher for Troy, looking for 3 outs here in the 9th.
Yeah, got to give a lot of credit to Crotchfeld. Came in 2 solid innings, put up a bunch of zeros, continue what he keeps doing. But Dill, fastball up to 93, 4-2 on the year, so he soaked up a lot of innings out of this bullpen. Yeah, this is an opportunity. Your Little Rock, obviously, when you look at the score, but these are at-bats that can build to tomorrow, right? You want to have good at-bats, and so for Dill, this is an opportunity that you just don't give them that chance. You go up there and attack the strike zone. He's already missed with the hit by pitch and already started off here 1-0, but go out there attacking the strike zone and don't let the Little Rock hitters get locked in.
Ty Rhodes is 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts. Little Rock as a team, 7 hits in 32 plate appearances. So it hasn't been quite the offensive night they'd like. This one is hit well, but right at Houston Markham for the first out. Little Rock took the early lead, scored 1 right away in the first. Against Benjamin Stubbs, they added another one in the 3rd, but they've been held scoreless since. Ryan Geck is going to pinch hit here for Little Rock.
Yeah, and when that first run came across the crowd, there was a lot of anxiousness in the stands. I mean, you could just tell they were wanting to really get into the ball game. They were there early, but Little Rock scores first.
Geck to the corner and right and deep. Leaping catch. Houston Markham. They're going to get a double play. Angel Cano didn't see that it was caught, and the ball game is over. Double play will end it. On a remarkable catch by Houston Markham in the corner. And that's kind of how the night has gone.
You're right.
For Troy since the 2nd inning.
Yeah, everything that could go right for Troy has gone right. The offense has exploded. The pitching came along. And then you got defense. Houston Markham, this is the 2nd really good catch he's made. Watch him go into the wall. Ball fading away from him. He closes quickly. The jump hits the wall from the knee, like from the butt. Look, throws it all the way to first base, gets the double play. How about it? First victory for Troy in Super Regional play. 1 game away from Omaha, Clay.
Game 2 tomorrow. 3 o'clock Eastern time, 2 o'clock here in Troy. And Troy has an opportunity to make program history with a victory. They will be on their way to Omaha for the first time. What an amazing game. So many stars, but nobody's shown brighter in this game than Jay Boroff. 2 more homers for the guy they're calling Jay Ruth, including that grand slam in the 8th. It's our Capital One rewarding performance.
And he just continues to stay high. Somehow, guys keep throwing in pitches over the middle part of the plate, and Jay Boroff knows exactly what to do with them and has continued to produce at an extremely high level for this Troy program. And guess who we got? We got Jabe right here on the mic.
Jabe, congratulations. I'd like to know what hitting coach Ben Wolgamott has been saying to you when he calls time and he brings you over just ahead of those home runs.
Really just, take it easy, don't be too big, simplify, and don't try and do too much.
So, yeah, the pitch before that, you swung your helmet about come off, and then all of a sudden he says, don't do too much. The next pitch, you go deep.
Yeah, I know it sounds weird, but really smooth is simple is smooth and smooth is fast. So just try and simplify everything and catch a barrel.
Yeah, so talk to me about just the feeling, right? The Gainesville Regional was unreal. It has continued here, but now you're in front of 6,400 plus Troy fans. What does that feel like?
It is awesome, man. This place is the most packed I've ever seen it. It is an amazing environment, and just doing that stuff at this high of a stage, again, is an amazing feeling. I love it.
And I can tell that you guys are feeding off of this crowd. What is the fact that all of the people in this part of the state, the city of Troy, has shown up for this event this weekend?
Wow, I mean, I don't know. I would say our players, you know, they just thrive off of the people. You know, all of them are great fans. They come out, they support, and they're really freaking loud, and they love it. And we thrive off of it, and we play our best ball in front of big crowds.
Have a chance to punch a ticket to Omaha tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jay, thank you very much.
Thank you. God is great.
Jay Boroff. What's he going to do for an encore tomorrow?
No clue. I mean, it can't get any better. You just got to continue the consistency and remain the same, right?
So Troy has a 1-game-to-none lead in this best-of-3 Super Regional. Game tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock here in Troy. We hope you can join us for that. 12-2, the final score. The Troy Trojans defeat the Little Rock Trojans in Game 1. For Lance Cormier and our entire crew, I'm Clay Matvick. We're now going to send you to the studio. Chris and Mike. So long, everybody.